together again. Look, I always like to come along to defend council housing fringe, because I'm a council house tenant. I came from council housing. I came from the A gate at the Elephant and Castle. Those that are in London who know it know that. But now, of course, you won't get anywhere near the A gate because it's now 400, 500, 600, £700,000 luxury apartments, and if you got anywhere near it in a social housing part of the scheme, you're going through a port door, you know, as opposed to through the main entrance. So, look, I think it's incredibly important. I'm very proud of our union, actually, Unite, and the way in which we try to support in any way that we can various different campaigns. We've got housing workers in our union, of course, that do a fantastic job across all the various different associations and campaign groups. We've also now, with the merger with UCAT, got all of our local authority DLO employees and construction workers, where we've still got DLOs, direct labour organisations, and those that build in our houses in our union as well. So a fantastic opportunity to bring workers that are in the construction field together as part of the debate about how we take on the challenge of the housing crisis. It doesn't really matter where you are. I travel up and down the country. It doesn't matter whether you're in inner cities where we're seeing class cleansing now as part of overall regeneration programmes in the name of progress, and all we see is working class communities getting shoved further and further out into the suburbs, or the Zone 6 ticket in London, of course, unable to even get to work on minimum wage. I mean, that's the reality of it. Half your wages are taken travelling to and from work every day and trying to get something to eat during a long shift, as opposed to being in the centre of everything, doing essential work actually for our communities, but being phased out of the community or forced out of the community, more to the point, by councils trying to regenerate areas. And we've seen that, and I've seen that nowhere more so than in my old area at the Elephant and Castle. I always say anyone wants to pay £600,000 and come and move to the Elephant, they're very welcome to come and do it. Because the reality is it's still a very firm working class community, and we intend to keep it like that as well. I've still got family around the Elephant, and there's a lot of bitterness that builds up as a consequence. So if you want social cohesion, if you want mixed communities and all that, that is exactly not the way to do it, because there is a lot of resentment, there's a lot of anger actually at the way in which working class families and our communities are being completely broken up. Kids are having to stay inside their parents' homes for years and years and years without any ambition of getting into a home, getting into their own home and starting a family. They're starting families while still living at home in an overcrowded accommodation because they can't afford to do anything else. And if you travel outside of the inner cities, and you see that in every city up and down the country, it doesn't matter where you are, if you go into rural communities, then it's probably more intense, where rural communities are suffering, you know, a whole raft of challenges around housing. They're normally in more conservative areas of the country who are just not interested. At least we've got Labour authorities that are trying to do what Labour authorities can do in very, very difficult circumstances. And I understand all that. We central government have not had council housing on the agenda for years. In fact, they've been anti-council housing for decades, including our own previous last Labour administration, of course. Fuck all to support and supported the right to buy. Completely agree with the comment that's made earlier. You've got to abolish the right to buy. I mean, who has the right to buy our homes? These are our homes. We built them. This was taxpayers' money that built them as a community asset, and then someone walks away into the sunset having trousered a lot of money for it, and then it ends up in the private sector, of course, being rented back to the council, so we put a council tenant in. I mean, it's just madness. The whole thing is completely bonkers, if you ask me. So we need to abolish that. But you go outside, you've got people now buying second homes, normally from inner cities, of course, with a bit of wealth, now going to buying a second home in the community, pricing out local communities, and wages in those areas, those communities, those regions of the economy, are much lower than they are sometimes in the inner cities, of course. Not to say that there's not real low pay problems in inner cities as well, with many, many thousands having to survive on minimum wages. So if you want social cohesion, if you want to do with the new Green Deal that we moved in as part of a motion today in conference, housing's got to be a core part of that. There's the housing motion that we started today, which is now stopped, of course. It's going to be picked up again in the morning. I hope to see as many people getting up and trying to get into that debate as you can. It's a fantastic motion that will force the party to take it more seriously, council housing. We do want to see 100,000 council houses. We're not ashamed to say council houses. That's what we want. We want council houses. Built by councils, and we want them built by workers that are employed by councils, not third parties, subcontractors, third tier contractors very often. We want directly employed people on decent terms and conditions. We want councils running apprenticeships for our kids so that they can go into a decent job, a skilled job, well paid job for a proper apprenticeship under a union agreement. That's what we want. So we want a retrofit programme if we're going to deal with the green new economy, and Labour's already committed to 4 million new homes, or 4 million retrofitted homes in the first term of a Labour administration. They're saying that they'll retrofit all of our homes across our economy by 2035. Huge job to do, particularly if we're going to go green on this, of course. It's not just about how we heat our water and all, it's about how we get our gas out of our homes, how we insulate our homes, how we get better, how we build better actually, with the materials that are now being used to build homes, how we get back to sustainable, core, solid building programmes to provide secure, safe, affordable, council rent affordable homes for a generation that have lost faith in any opportunity to get into the housing market, either because they're rented priced out of it by scrupulous landlords, of course, where there's no security. I know people that have got young kids that have got no security at all in their homes. They've already been moved on 2, 3 or 4 times. Their kids are taken out of school as a consequence. They lose their mates, they're forced out of the borough, they go somewhere else. Often forced out of London, because they say, well, you can have a council house if you want one, but it'd be in Scunthorpe or something, you know. And you have to move 250 miles away from your flats, so we break up families, we break up whole communities, and then we wonder why we've got, you know, social problems on our streets, why we've got a rise in crime, why we've got a drug problem, why we've got addiction, mental health, all of those issues. This is part of a cohesive, inbuilt, comprehensive strategy, and that housing is a core element of about what sort of society do we want. What sort of Britain do we want to live in? What sort of society do we want? We're the 5th richest nation on this planet, so don't tell me we can't own our peoples. You know, why is it that we've got so... Just walk up and down the street. I just walked up the street from the seafront. And the amount of homeless people just living on the street in Brighton, and you can go to any town, anywhere. I go into small towns, and you see homeless people that you never saw before. And now you're seeing it. You're seeing tents pitched in parks all over the country. I mean, it's just it's a disgrace. It's obscene in the 5th richest country on this planet. So look, the reality is it's a challenge for all of us. The only way we're ever going to resolve this, though, the only way that we'll never resolve this with the Tories, we'll never resolve it with Swinson. We ain't going to let her off the hook. She's the one that brought in all the welfare changes, of course, that made it so difficult for her. She's the one who voted for and supported universal credit and the bedroom tax and everything else and came in with a coalition. So we're not going to let her trot off into the sunset thinking she's all right now with a new programme. You know, the reality is they're as guilty as anybody else. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to do this, then you need a radical socialist Labour government. That's the reality of it. You need a Labour government. In 1945. I remember my parents, my old man's 93 now, my mum died last year, but the reality is, he came back from defeating fascism. And they came out of poverty. They lived in destitute, they lived in poverty in the 1930s. And when they came back, they were radicalised. Their class consciousness had been built as a result of the defeat of fascism. And they came back and they wanted to build a better society. And they did it in workplaces by organising into unions, building a shop stewards movement, fighting for decent terms and conditions, collecting bar, all that stuff that's been taken away in the last 40 years that we talk about. You know, they fought for that. They fought for it, they won it, they struck for it, and they did get it. And now it's being ripped apart. It's being taken away. They built our National Health Service. They built hundreds of thousands of homes because we needed them at the end of them. Well, we need them now. We need them now as well. So if you want an emergency plan, now's the time for an emergency plan. If you want 10 billion quid, let's get 10 billion quid on the table. You know, this is peanut. There are pension funds out there looking for safe, long-term, secure opportunities to invest. It's our money. Pension funds are our money. Nobody else puts into them. The rich just play with our cash and often siphon it off to the nearest tax haven. You know, we've got to get that back. We've got to grab back our land, take the land banks off of the big corporations that just hold on to it for year after year after year to maximise the profit that they can take on it, and we've got to get hold of empty homes. Empty homes owned by people that don't live here, they have no relationship, it's an investment fund, it's not even an individual normally. I know houses in the States where no one lives on them. You walk around, there's no lights on because they weren't even flogged here. They weren't never advertised here. It was flogged in the Far East or something, some hedge fund or some billionaire who just wants a London investment. Fantastic for them, of course. Nice, secure property as they see it, and something that's going to accumulate in value over the years, or something they can put their kids in when they come to London for being paid privately to go to university. Well, that's not helping us. That's not helping working class communities here, now, today. So that's why we need a Labour government. For so many reasons we need a Labour government, all of the reasons that surround housing as well as housing itself, and that's our challenge, because we've got to go and we've got to get it. So solidarity, comrades, very happy to come and talk with you.